I'd like to give all glory and honor to Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that taught this truth and continue to teach this truth. Shalom to you, sincere Akim, and your sisters steadfast in this truth. I'd like to bring out um, a quick video short. Um, I was in the spirit studying early this morning and digesting this truth and some precepts. And, uh, I was immersed in some thoughts and I wanted to share them real quick. So let me share the precepts real quick. And then I'll share the thoughts that I was immersed in, as I read those precepts. Then we'll close out and hopefully see you next video. But let's get into the precepts here. And so, Amos chapter 2, verse 9. And it reads, Yet destroyed I the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of cedars, and he was strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit from above, and his roots from beneath. Also, I brought you from the land of Egypt, and led you 40 years through the wilderness, to possess the land of the Amorite. Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 3, verse 8. And we took at that time out of the hand of the two kings of the Amorites the land that was on the side of Jordan, from the river of Arnon unto Mount Hermon. Hermon, the Sidonians call Sirion, and the Amorites call it Shinir. All the cities of the plain, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, unto Salchah and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan. For only Og, king of Bashan, remained of the remnant of the giants. Behold, his bedstead was the bedstead of iron. Is it not in Rabbath of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits was the length thereof, 4 cubits was the breadth of it, after the cubit of a man. And so basically, this man was 13 feet tall, roughly 12 to 13 feet tall when you do the math. And so, after digesting, those two precepts, what immediately popped in my mind was Isaiah 41 and 14. And so let's get Isaiah 41 and 14. Then we're going to go into the thoughts that I was immersed in at that time, and then we'll close. So 41 and 14. 41, 14, Isaiah. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith Yahuwah, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. And so let's focus in on his earlier statement, thou worm Jacob. That's what Yahweh called us, thou worm Jacob. And so, um, and when you think about the significance of a worm, okay, and when you compare, especially, okay, when you look at the worm, and you look at the worm from the perspective of nature's ecosystem, and then from and then looking at it from the perspective of prey and predator. The worm is a prey and a defenseless prey. Okay? And so when you compare that worm onto us as a people, because he called us the worm, we are a defenseless prey in the hands of our enemies. Okay? And if you, for those of you that are new and or you need a reminder of who our enemies are, go to Psalms. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go to it. Okay? Where are we at here? We're going to go to Psalms. Pardon me. There we go. Where are we at here? There it is. Psalms 83 and 2. Now, if you start here, it will describe to you who our enemies are. Okay? Okay, Psalms 83. And start at verse, you want to start at verse 2. So Psalms chapter 83. Um, and really you can read the whole chapter. Okay. And so back to the discussion regarding um, uh, uh, the statement that Yahweh had made in calling us the worm, um, and relating it back to the earlier precepts that we read in Deuteronomy and Amos. Um, the Amorites were a very formidable enemy, um, and Yahweh delivered that enemy into our hands. You know, Egypt was a formidable enemy unto us, but Yahweh delivered us out of the hands of that enemy. Okay, and so the works that Yahweh did for us were beyond magnificent, beyond magnificent, beyond magnificent. And so, um, you know, uh, when I had that thought, I was just, you know, it just, just thinking, just reading those two earlier precepts really brought me to, you know, thinking hard on, what Yahweh said, and then let's close out on that. Let's read that precept one more time. Okay. Um, Isaiah 41 and 14. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. And so I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to think on that, and then, think, share that thought. And I'm going to say it. And so I got to say it. When you think of the greatness of Yahweh, you know, and what he has done for us and what he's able to do and what he will do and what he said that he's coming to do, you know, being led by our big brother, um, Yahweh Shai, and, uh, and the Archangel Michael is going to lead that charge when Yahweh returns again. Um, when you think of the greatness and the mercy and the majesty of Yahweh, uh, you know, it's beautiful. It really is. It's beautiful. I guess my closing words, because I'm having so many thoughts right now, and I don't want to make this video longer than I intended. You know, and I'm going to say it. Serve Yahweh, serve Yahweh. You know, if you haven't came home, come home. If you're home, stay home. Okay, serve Yahweh, you know, and obey these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know, and talk with Yahweh and serve Yahweh. Okay. Um, I pray that this lesson was stimulating and edifying. Thank you for listening. Shalom.